Okay, guys. Hey, guys. I'll probably just quickly introduce myself as people log in to attend today's webinar. My name's Timothy Cocaro. I'm the founder of Canibuild. We started Canibuild about close to 4 years back now, been developing an application to help construction businesses, whether it's pool builders or granny flat builders or home builders, basically any construction company that's building on site. Help them automate the process of selling at the initial stages. So it automates planning rules and checks. It lets you site your projects on any property across Australia. It also works in New Zealand, Canada, and the United States. So the hope of today's webinar is to just run through that demonstration. I also noted that some of the people that have registered are current clients of Canibuild. So feel free to join in and sort of ask any questions that you might like to find out more about through the demo, and I'll try to respond to those during this demonstration. So the intent today is I'll go through the app, I'll go through what it can do, and also touch on some of the new developments that Canibuild has done, particularly unregistered lots, allowing builders to be able to search not only registered lots, but unregistered lots in the state. So that's particularly useful for home builders building in new estates, as well as pool builders that are building in new estates in conjunction with these new houses. So it gives you that flexibility as well. So I'll share my screen now, and we'll get this going. Alrighty. Okay, so I'll demonstrate all the features. I can tell from the people that have logged in, many of you are already be avid users. But essentially, as soon as you log into Canibuild, you'll be presented with an aerial view. We've partnered with near maps, so the imagery should be the most up-to-date and high-res resolution imagery available, giving you a good backbone for doing your siting and site analysis, so you don't necessarily have to go to site every single time to do those preliminary feasibilities as well. The screen is meant to be very streamlined and very simple to allow salespeople to be able to have the confidence of using the application in client-facing scenarios without the clunky feeling of typing things in and doing too much. So basically, if you were to search a street address, it's as simple as putting in the address similar to if you're doing a Google search, and be able to pick out the addresses. You'll be able to quickly see that it's picking out suggested addresses in unregistered new developments. So in this case, lot 78. But let's just start with a registered lot, and through the demo, I'll jump over to some of the unregistered features, which is quite exciting. Okay, so as soon as you put in an address, in this case, 78 Hood Street, Yagoona, basically you'll be presented with an aerial image. You'll see the lot boundary. It also picks up, especially in Sydney metropolitan areas, it picks up in terms of trees, heights, things like that. You're also able to pick up the lot boundary, existing structures, and able to see the site quite quickly and quite easily. You're able to click on the address, this I button, which gives you some more information in terms of lot DP, which counts all the area of the lot, the frontage, as well as zoning. So you're able to sort of get that information quickly without having to jump to a myriad of different government portals. So essentially, as soon as you're on this view, if it's a bit noisy in regards to the aerial image and you want to just be able to see what you're dealing with, you're able to switch the map to a more architectural type view and be able to see the details quite clear. So let's just switch back to the aerial view. Now, in this view, you're able to automatically see the contours over the site. So on the right-hand side, you've got these instruments where you can take screenshots, contours, as well as hide some details and flip the designs. So for example, if I click on contours, very quickly, it's calculating the contours at 250 mil intervals. The thick lines are meter, and it's done very easily. So red is high and blue is low. So essentially, it's just grading down from the street. to the back of the property, and it's got this contour elevations here. Now you can very quickly see that in real life by clicking on the street view. You're able to jump to the street view and you can see in fact that it is sloping away from the street as the contours are showing. And you don't have to jump in and out of Google, and it's automatically pointing to the correct property. So it's very quick to be able to cycle through. Now, essentially, once you've got your site, what you'll be doing is you'll be loading in your designs. So essentially, these showing all the designs that are preloaded into your system. It's very easy to upload new designs. It takes about a minute each. And you're able to upload these and categorize them in whichever way you want. So in this case, it's been in secondary dwellings, detached studios, single story, and so on and so forth. Now, many of you aren't granny flat builders, but you could be house builders, pool, garages and sheds. And the system is very versatile to work on different build types. The different build types are important because the system checks the rules against the build type that you've selected. So if you pick on granny flats or houses or pools, depending on what builder you are, it'll be configured to check the rules against that build type. So for example, if we go to pools, you can load in all your pool designs. And as soon as you click on a pool, it'll deploy that design onto site for you to be able to position in site, and it'll automatically check the rules. So in this case, the dotted line shows the setbacks. It shows you've got a 1 meter setback around the boundary. It also checks automatically that the front setback is calculated in line with the building line. And then if you breach those setbacks, it puts this red boundary over the proposed pool to be able to quickly see that something's wrong. You'll also notice that on the trees that are defined as trees, which is over 8 meters, it's got this dotted line setback, which also can be tracked to see whether or not you have to remove that tree or at least avoid that tree in order to be able to do this particular project. So as soon as you've picked the design, you're able to rotate it and position it accordingly and place it on the site. You're already at this stage engaging with the client to make sure that they're happy with the location, and it's quite versatile to quickly and visually show how this pool is going to fit. And just as easy it is to be able to switch between different designs. So if you click on a different pool, you're just as easy to be able to choose this lap pool and position it accordingly. The dimensions are automatically calculated to find the closest point between the back boundary, side boundaries, existing dwelling and the street frontage. So if for whatever reason there was a specific requirement, say for instance, 2 meters from this side, you're able to configure this quite detailed and have quite control over the positioning. Once you're satisfied with the position, you're able to then very quickly go to rules and check against the rules to make sure that everything is in accordance with the complying development rules for a pool. So in this case, it's checking against the zoning is in the correct zoning, it's checking asset sulfate, heritage, the building line and the setbacks, in a very quick and real-time assessment of this project. So for example, if I position it out of the setback, it's quickly telling you which setback's in breach, what the requirement is and what it currently is. So what this allows is, it allows companies to expand their sales teams with minimal training. If you get new people on board, not only are you showing clients the proposed pool in a very easy and intuitive and visual way, but also the person that's doing it doesn't need to know all the rules and regulations per site or per area. So once you're happy with the position, the design, and the rules, you're able to start making some annotations. Say, for instance, this tree is to be removed. You're able to quickly add an annotation and say something like tree to be removed by client. And basically you start building up a more rich description of what's occurring. Say, for instance, the steps, the client wants the steps to be on the other side. You can very quickly click the flip tool and then it's on the other side. So it's very versatile in that regard as well. Say, for example, you wanted to start measuring out the fence line for this pool. You're able to say, okay, start from here. and you're able to start building up measurements, which not only show the perimeter, but you're able to sort of change the colors. So for example, here, blue symbolizing a fence, and you're able to start building the fence lines. And then you're able to start saying, okay, if the gate's going to go in this location, you can add that notation and say, add a single gate here. And very quickly start building up your proposal for the client. So it's very intuitive, very quick. And as you can see, just in this virtual demonstration, we're sort of running through it as you would with our typical client. But it might be done remotely or virtually through Zoom or in person quite easily with your sales staff. So now you've placed a grading flat. Again, you can click the contours over it and see it. If it becomes a bit too noisy, you can hide the aerial. Again, if it's too noisy again, you can hide the features and just show the pool again. So it is quite versatile in that regard. If you wanted to quickly show the client a quick screenshot of the proposed site, you're able to position it, take a screenshot, and what that'll do is it'll quickly download a file. I'm not sure if this is going to be shown on the screen, so let me just quickly share my desktop instead of just the Chrome. One moment. So basically here you're able to see that we've just created this quick screenshot. If I open it up, it's exactly as what you're seeing, but on the top right corner, you're able to see the notes tree to be removed, add single gate. So it's quite quick and quite simple to do something like this. You're able to put this in your existing proposal material or send a quick email. And as you can imagine, the clients might come back and forth with some changes. And you're able to quickly make these changes without having to burden your drafting staff or your external drafter to quickly do updated sketches. Okay. So coming back to here, once you're happy with the position and the location, say you wanted to do a more detailed site plan, you're able to go to Car, click on Architectural, and what you'll see in Car is you'll be able to see quite a few options that you can purchase in-app. So you're able to purchase 10.7 tap-in reports, titles, DPs, and you're even able to get the approval done through the application, sewage diagrams, vendor certificates, and so on and so forth. It's got the ETAs and the prices there specific to the site. But in this case, say for example, we wanted a more detailed site plan, which is for free, and you're able to click on that, click on checkout, and order that site plan. Now what that site plan will do is it'll generate a site plan that you'll be able to get from the docs. So it'll appear in your documents, and you're able to sort of download that for the client for your proposal material for the client. So if I click on download, and open up the PDF, you're able to see that it's got your title block, it's got the Mr. Test Client as the client name, the address, the site plan information. You're able to get all the details that you've got, and your notes, your site area, your proposed site ratios, and so on and so forth. And it'll also do a 2-page, and the second page a more zoomed in view. And this is in response to some of the requests from our clients. So even if the site is quite large, the first page will be showing you the context. So even if it's a large site area, say acreage or even hectares, basically it'll show you the context, and then on the second page, it will zoom into the actual development area so you can see that finer detail. And this is done immediately. So you can imagine how impressed your clients will be with this being generated on the fly. So, and that's how quickly it is to purchase things from the cart and have them appear in your docs. Now, let's say we've now positioned the site. So essentially we've picked a design, we've checked against the rules, and now we want to build up a quote. So say, for example, we want to build that quote. The first item that'll appear is already the price of the lap pool that's been added. And you're able to quickly add additional items. So these items you can manage in your item catalog. It's very easy to add or remove. And I'll sort of point to some of the new features that some of you guys, especially our current clients, may have missed. So say, for example, we wanted to add a creepy crawly. Right here, you're able to adjust the quantity. In this case, you'll probably be just using one. But you're also got this optional tag where you can add items to your quote that actually don't form part of the quote, but are basically shown as optional items. So if you've discussed with a client where they're contemplating whether or not to buy this creepy crawly, you can click optional and it'll appear in the quote as a suggestion. So you can upsell and start improving your sales process in that regards. The search is quite powerful. So if you start searching for anything, it starts filtering down to exactly what you need. So say, for example, we wanted some lights. It shows the lights. We want this double light kit. We want, this iris controller, for example, filter, whatever it might be. You can very quickly add this up and add to the quantities. And these things can be anything from landscaping or concreting, because it's got unit of measures. You've got quantities, so it could be by linear meter or square meter or by each. So you click on add to the quote, and very quickly it's adding these items to your quote, so you can already show the client the total. So right now it's running at 52,000, and these groupings are pre-configured by yourself, so you can automatically make sure that your quote looks presentable to the client. So you've got your optional creepy crawly, which you can see a dash here, so it doesn't form part of the quote, and you've got all your other items. Now, at this stage, you can get more information by clicking down, and if I had an image, it will show the image there, and it's got the description and details. And you're able to even put discounts against these items. So say I wanted to take off $500 on the line item. You're able to do that. There was 2 of them, so the discount's 1,000. And then it shows exactly here what this item was and what it currently is. And you can also do discounts on the whole amount. So say you wanted to get this under 50,000, you can say, all right, you can discount by percentage or dollar. Like here, we'll just do dollar, do 2,000, click apply, and now you've got a 49,000. So it's very quick to start getting the client to the position of making a decision to choose you as the contractor for whether it's a pool or a granny flat or a house. So you've got your quote. Now you want to be able to generate this quote. So you can click get quote. You can even say, okay, in order to proceed to the next step, it's $1,000. It's a lap pool. And we click proceed. Now, again, in a similar way to the order that we did for the site plan, basically this will appear in your quotes. You click on quotes, you click download. And open this up. And basically you have your address, you've got full control of your branding and logo. In this case, we've got very adventurous gray and dark gray. You've got your address details, the client details, the date, the pool that you've added with the description, as well as all the other items. You've got your optional, so you can see that that's excluded. And then you've got your discounts, your GST, your grand total, your deposit, the balance, and so on and so forth, and a signature block. Now you've got full control over how much you show and don't show. So here we've decided to hide the price amounts per item, the unit of measures and things like that, just for demonstration purposes. So if I switch back to the main screen and jump into the admin settings, I'll quickly show you how much control you have over the quotes. So in the quote, you're able to control everything from, do I show the item description? Do I hide the pricing unit of measure, the item amounts? Do I only show it by subsection? Do I show my social media icons, etc.? So then that way you've got full control over how you present the quote. You can show it by line item pricing, or only show a grand total, or by sections, or so on and so forth. You're able to control your tax, whether it's inclusive or exclusive of your figures. And you're also able to create templates. So in these templates, say for instance, you've got certain amounts of items that you always use time and time again, you're able to create a template. It's very easy. You can add items just like you do with a quote. These will be here. And then if I jump back to the quote view, what you can do is this drop down here, you can actually deploy that template, which will override what you've done, apply it, and then it'll just jump to having those templated items. So you don't have to start as a quote from scratch every time. So the entire ethos of Canibuild is to be able to allow you to do a lot more with a lot less, sell very quickly, do all the bits and pieces that typically may have taken days or weeks to be done. So you can imagine right now, many people might be going onto site with grid papers, trying to sketch something out, get some information, try to give some indicative figures to the client. Whereas now, with Canibuild, you're able to cite projects quite simply. You're able to check the rules, so you don't come back and forth in regards to whether or not it complies or not. You're able to build up a quote quite quickly and versatile, so the client can already at that point tell you whether it's too much, and then you can start again. You can try choose another designer for. Thanks to the contours, you might be able to propose a different location so there's less drop edges and things like that. And then you're able to finish off the entire proposal quite quickly by just generating quotes and site plans to be able to proceed to the next step. And if the next step includes 10.7s and titles and things like that, it can be done through the application as well. So you don't have to jump in and out of this application and others. Now, I quickly showed you what was possible in the admin, but I won't bore everyone by going into detail here, but in the admin view, you're able to control the quoting. So for example, you can auto calculate deposits to be a dollar amount of say a particular section. It could be a percentage of say grand total, so the deposit's automatically calculated if you don't want to manually put it in. You're able to generate templates, create your settings so you can make your quote look exactly as you need. Do you want to show terms and conditions and thank yous, and how do you want that to be done? And it's important to note that you've got also full control over the formatting, so you're able to add bullet points, bold, italics, and so on and so forth. User management in all our Canibuild application and in all our packages, you're able to add as many users as you like. So there's no restriction on that. It doesn't affect the price. The price is purely based on the number of searches you do. So the smaller the business is, the less searches it'll be doing. The larger, the more it'll be doing. So basically the pricing structure is quite simple and streamlined for you to know where your company might be fitting. Your item catalogs are controlled in item catalogs, so it's very easy to be able to control your items for your build types. So for instance, here's the creepy crawly that I quickly added in the demonstration, and you're able to edit these quite simply. So if you edit it here, it's basically a cloud-based application, which means all your sales team will now see the reflected changes. So if this affected changes is on price, it'll be immediately done. Or if the change is to delete it, now it won't be available for people to add in. So it's quite simple, and you're starting to control what your sales staff can add or not add, or the prices of those items, as opposed to, say, for instance, everyone going around with a cheat sheet with typical common upgrades or pricings and things like that, where you have to manage and reprint or make sure that you rip up the old one and replace with a new one. Design catalog is done in the very same way, so you're able to upload your designs quite simply and then control them through here. And then you can control your categories in terms of how you want to show those pool designs. So here we've got in-ground, above ground, semi, and so on and so forth. So basically I've gone through the entire application, the main parts. It can obviously do a lot more, but this is the main aspects of the application itself. What I'll do now is I'll quickly show you the unregistered lots, which we're very excited about, which sets this application definitely apart from from anything else in the market, which there's not really a comparable to Canibuild at this stage. So say, for example, we wanted to search a lot, and you wanted to search for something in Hills of Carmel. You can start typing Hills of Carmel or any development name. We've got over 30 estates loaded in the system, and every day that goes past, we're loading in more. Now, if you do Hills of Carmel, it'll show you these lots, or you can search by specific lot number if you've got that information either via a contract or the client's told you. And then once you click on that, basically you'll be able to come to that lot. So you can see this is in a new part of the project, this estate. If you're wondering what the blue is, basically we're showing whether it's flood affected, so that automatically comes up. So good luck to whoever purchases this site. And it works exactly like any other address that you've looked up. So say, for example, in this case, we were building houses and we wanted to put something on this lot, which won't be the best site. You're able to see whether or not this particular design would fit in a similar way that I did with pools. And then you'll be able to show the clients, miraculously, this site, this build fits perfectly there. And you're able to see the setbacks quite straightforward. And then you'll be able to do this site like every other site and start working it from that perspective, adding annotations, checking on the rules. There's a lot more rules for houses, so it's checking the site coverage, floor space ratios, and frontage, and so on and so forth. So it's quite versatile in that regards. The resolution is quite high. So if you wanted to do annotations, you can say, they want change the shower to single panel, or whatever might be the case. So it's very versatile to start getting a rich feasibility and site analysis for the client. And then in a similar way, you can do contours and so on and so forth. So it is quite versatile in regards to being able to determine whether it's registered or unregistered. It doesn't matter anymore, which I think is quite revolutionary. So say another project in Newbury's, if I click on there, basically it's now showing this section of the estate, and basically you've got the same thing. So say, for example, we're going to do a house here, say single story, something maybe a bit skinny. And then we're able to place the project. Now, even though it's fit within the setbacks, it's still red, meaning something's wrong here. So let's just click on rules. And basically it's saying it's E4, so you can't do complying. So it's not in the R2, R3, R4. It's also detecting into the bushfire affected area. So it's indicating you need to do a BAL report, which you can purchase from the cart and start getting a BAL report done for this site. And you can see very quickly what's involved in proceeding on this project. And for home builders, you're able to flip to say, make sure that the garage is on the side to minimize the cost. So you can already start working with the client in regards to what works and what doesn't. So that's basically a quick preview on unregistered lots. We're happy to load in more if there's a specific smaller project that hasn't been done. But right now we've got quite a few projects, thousands of lots that's been loaded up. So now you can start searching both, which is quite impressive, but of course I'm biased. So basically that's the whole application in a very summarized way. I hope you guys have got a lot out of it. For the people that's jumped on board that are current clients, I hope that's maybe sort of opened your eyes onto a few other things that the application can do. But at this stage, I'm happy for anyone to sort of post any questions that they might have. And also remember, we're doing these webinars fortnightly. So even if you want to jump on again, or maybe sort of in your comments now, you can suggest what you want me to focus on next time. And I can maybe do a more in-depth deep dive in a certain aspect of the application. But for this stage, I'm happy to sort of answer any questions that anyone has. All right, so let me see where these questions are. Does the app show you what council the property is in? Yes, it does. So essentially, I can quickly show you how that's done. So say, for example, we want to search whichever address it might be, 15 Cullen, Canibuild. If you click on this eye, it basically shows the council as the hills. So basically, any property that you look up, say for instance, I just randomly pick one of these lots. So this one, and click on I. That's the hills again, and then you're able to get whichever council it is. So maybe get out of the hills to just prove the point. And click on this one, right click and search this address. Notice the tree. I'm always impressed when I see that. And then it's got here council's Auburn. So you're able to very quickly get that information together with the frontage, the acid sulfate class, the zoning, and the light DP information if you wanted to sort of check that against other documentation you have. Okay. If anyone else has any other questions, they can post it in. Of course, you can also reach out to myself. My email is tcocaro@canibuild.com. You can always go to our website, canibuild.com, and start looking. You can see all the pricing there. And also there's a lot more information on that website. But I genuinely hope that this live webinar gave some insight to both people considering Canibuild as a possible option for your business, or existing clients. I really hope it sort of opened your eyes in terms of some of the features that may have been hidden there. So like I've said, we're doing this fortnightly. If anyone's got something that they want me to specifically focus on next time, feel free to email or reach us out. I think we've got maybe one more question.
Go to chat. Can we get a copy of this to view for our staff?
All right, so one tick, let me just quickly see. Sorry, there's posts going in Facebook as well as
Chat. In your Q&A, go to chat.
Yeah. Maybe just show me what the question is. Thanks, was very good. Can we get a copy of this after for my staff? Yes, 100%. So what I can do is, if you've registered for the demonstration, maybe just post your email on the comments, or we'll send everyone some of the PDFs and some of the generated site plans that we've done through this demonstration, and I'll send those through so you can start seeing how it looks specifically. But we'll get all that information to you as part of this demonstration. I might do that for every demo from now on. So then you can even see how accurate the contours are, if you've got access to that information, or start seeing in more detail, or it might prompt some more questions. So answers yes, I'll make sure that all the material that I've generated through this demonstration, I'll make available. Okay. If there's no other questions, again, I'm always accessible. Feel free to sort of chat with us on our social platforms if you reach out, or on Facebook or an email. You know, we don't bite, so any question we're happy to sort of field. From my personal standpoint, I'm genuinely interested in assisting the construction industry generally. I think it's we get a pretty bad rap as it is, and it's a tough gig. So I genuinely hope this application helps you start answering some of those questions to your clients immediately, without the cost and the overhead, which typically doesn't get paid for, of chasing that around. So some of our socials had comments like, you know, cut out the middleman. But that's basically saying it's both helping, say, you know, certifiers and architects, rather than contact them and just say, hey, look, can you just quickly look at this site and tell me if it can do this and can do that, which is typically unpaid from the consultant's perspective as well as the builder, you'll start getting these answers quickly to be able to assist the salesperson in their process and get the right information to the client. Also saves everyone's the headache of having to sort of drop what they're doing and do something that's typically unpaid for, because it's quite rare for a client to pay for something which is just a quick answer. They expect builders to know everything about everything in every site on the planet, which unfortunately, as best we try, we can't. So I really hope that you can see how this application can fit into your business, and really encourage anyone that's interested to reach out and request a free demonstration. We can do a one-on-one, or if you've got a specific question, we can reply to that. So guys, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. I really hope I can see you guys and jump on board again in a fortnight for another webinar, or better still, organize a one-on-one demo. Thanks a lot, guys, and take care.